All right, can you see that all right?
Looks good.
All right, perfect. All right, well, Ben, thank you for having Quantum here today. Really do appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Don McNaughton. I'm a regional sales manager here at Quantum. My team here includes Brendan Doyle, our solutions architect, and Ian Green, our territory sales manager out of Seattle. We cover Delaware up to Maine for our enterprise team. So pretty big patch and covers a lot of ground here. A lot of people know Quantum. We've been around for 40 years now. Most people know us as a tape company. Certainly true. We started 40 years ago doing tape solutions. So, data protection, backing up your data is something we've done for a real long time. We do a lot more than tape, though, and that's, I think some of the things I'll cover today, we'll talk a bit about that. We are a global company as well, so for those who have offices, across the globe, although we're a U.S. Headquartered company, development, engineering here in the U.S., we have other locations throughout the world, whether it be development, support in every country, every continent. So we are global customers and partners across the world. We do have a couple of different portfolios. I think we'll talk more about data protection today, but we do have primary storage platforms as well. We have our own file system that's about 15 years old, huge in Hollywood. It's a high performance file system, global namespace where we can do object storage, our own NVMe storage, tape, public cloud, and present it as a global namespace. So that's got a ton of use case in big data shops, research, development, things like that. Surveillance, VS systems, NVRs, we actually have a complete line of solutions for video surveillance and security. Large archives, we have object storage. We're a manufacturer of a scale-out platform there. That with our file system, we're able to really go to hundreds of petabytes of storage. And we also have an edge storage platform. Some of the coolest automated car manufacturers, electric car manufacturers, that they're always acquiring data. We have a lot of Quantum product out there in those cars. It's a pretty cool use case for that storage platform. And then our data protection, which is our secondary storage line. We'll talk mostly about that today. So other than tape, we have our object storage platform, so looking to do, large private clouds. Object is really perfect for that. And then we have a dedupe backup appliance. Again, high performance, integrates well with all the applications out there, especially Veeam, which we'll talk quite a bit about today. Today, when we talk about tape, I think 50% of the conversations I have really aren't around backup anymore. It's really security, ransomware protection, and what we can do to keep the bad guys out and keep your data protected. And of course, the Veeam integration piece. And I put this up here, our Isilon protection. Customers that have those, 5, 10, huge multi-petabyte platforms, they pretty much have a hard time backing them up today, and we have a really unique solution for that as well. So really just some visuals here. Our StorNext is our file system. Our VS series, that's our video surveillance line, and then the R series, that's the edge storage that we put in autonomous vehicles, airplanes for LiDAR, things like that. And I think today we'll spend most of our time on our secondary storage, our data protection platforms. So ActiveScale is our object storage platform, scalable to 74 petabytes, spread over multiple locations. So those that have reasons not to go to the cloud, setting up a private cloud, it's a very cost-effective, extremely durable. I think it's 19 nines durability, so erasure coded locally and across 3 locations, really gives you site redundancy and affords you to never lose data. Our scalar tape libraries, we are the leading manufacturer. We still make our own products. We have, small tape loaders right up to 12,000 slot tape libraries. Some of the largest hyperscalers on the planet, use tape in those deep archives, and, Quantum is one of their key partners. And DXi series is our purpose-built backup appliance, deduplication backup storage. We're going to cover quite a bit about that here. So we'll jump right into the data protection components. So when we work in VMware environments, I'll say that almost all the time Veeam is involved. I think everyone on this call knows Veeam, knows how great of a product it is. And we're an elite alliance partner of Veeam. We have a lot of integration, and together we really do put together that 3-2-1. It's really 3-2-1-1 data protection infrastructure together with Veeam. So we've got our high-speed backup platform, our DXI Dedup. We've got the tape for that, immutable copy, that offsite copy, or offline copy. And our object storage platform, for those who aren't interested in tape, not looking to go to public cloud, building out a highly durable, extremely scalable platform on-prem object storage can do that for you. So value props in the Veeam environment. So our DXi, that's our deduplication purpose-built backup appliance. We've got the Veeam Data Mover integration directly on our appliance, which is somewhat what sets us apart from the competition. So we'll cover a bit about that. Offline protection really comes down to tape and using tape as a ransomware solution. And Quantum, we are, as I mentioned, a 40-year-old company. From day one, our focus was protecting our customers' valuable assets. So we do have 40 years of experience when it comes to disaster recovery and data protection. So this is a screenshot of Veeam. Likely most of you have seen something like this before. So we are directly integrated into the Veeam UI. So our DXi Dedup appliance is a selection when you're setting up a backup repository and you're selecting dedup storage devices. So we do have great integration there, and easy setup and configuration. And the Veeam Data Mover service, we're able to run on our appliance. And something that differentiates us, we are the only inline deduplication appliance that can run the VDMS directly on our box. And what's special about that? It offloads a lot of the functionality from an external proxy. Performance is much greater than if you're running to a CIFS or an NFS backup repository. So there's that direct communication, and then some of the functionality that Veeam has, we enhance the performance there. Some of the, something to point out, in comparison to a competitor that can also run the VDMS on their appliance, we certainly hear about, inline dedup appliances not being as fast to either write to or recover from. But we've run these tests, and with the VDMS, it makes a very untrue statement. So we're able to not only ingest the data, but you could recover from our appliance just as fast as if it was in a native non-deduplicated format. So performance is there, and what you end up with is the most efficient storage you can get for backup. Typically with a dedup appliance, you're letting the appliance do the dedup and the compression. Therefore, Veeam is running at native speeds for maximum performance. And we're still achieving, in this example, it was a 13.13 ratio to 1 deduplication rate compared to under 4-to-1 great on the competitor's product. And another area we really shine is if you're running multiple locations, if you're replicating data site to site, we are just sending unique blocks of data. Our appliance is a variable block appliance, so where it's different from a fixed block appliance, we're looking at a more granular block size. So our replication, WAN replication, is going to be the most efficient out there on the market. One of the areas that our VDMS really helps with is a new feature in Veeam 10 they may cover on that next presentation. But with their fast clone capabilities, you're able to do backup copy jobs, you're able to do synthetic fulls, and that's done directly on our appliance. It really makes a difference when it comes to speed, time to do this. And my next slide actually shows an example of this. We ran a 5 terabyte clone operation. We did it without fast clone and then with fast clone on our appliance. And it's a 15 times better performance when you're running fast clone on our box. So in 21 minutes, we were able to create a synthetic full backup of 5 terabytes. So huge if you're doing, whether it be copies out, looking to do keep longer retention on, or just running that every couple of weeks, running a synthetic full backup. Time to do so is really minutes in most cases. So what Quantum gives you is this 3211 data protection infrastructure. It's been preached for years. 3 copies of your data, 2 different types of media. So we've got disk, we've got tape. We also have objects, so we could actually surpass, the 3211. Offsite, we have the capability to replicate our DXIs offsite, and then the offline, and that's where the tape really comes into play. And I'll talk a little more about some of the tape functionality when it comes to ransomware. Our DXI line, so this is our dedupe backup platform. We actually have virtual versions, so could spin it right up in a virtual environment. We have at our website a 1 terabyte free version if anyone was ever interested in trying it out, taking a look, or even if you had use cases. It's a fully usable system, for at or under a terabyte of data, where you can even replicate between virtual series, go between locations. Give it a try. Go up to our website, check it out. Our mid-range product is our 4800. That can start as small as 8 terabytes, and that's post-RAID pre-dedupe, and that can grow to 315 terabytes of usable capacity. And our enterprise platform is our DXi 9000. So this starts as small as 51 terabytes. We can get that up to a petabyte of usable storage, and in the high-density platform, we do that in 10U of rack space. Performance on this one is extremely fast. We've seen jobs running at almost 100 terabytes an hour ingest. So definitely enterprise and an extremely fast platform, and these are all Veeam repository ready. And the latest addition to our family, we actually call it the DXi 9000 Ultra. What we've done is we've added more processing. Its box has 40 cores in it, and we've upped the RAM in it to 768 gigs of RAM. The reason is when you're running Veeam jobs, there's requirements on board for processing and memory. So what we've been able to do with that increased performance, we're able to support 200 concurrent Veeam streams, whether they're backup or restore jobs. It's important because when you're running a dedupe appliance like ours, Veeam allows you to run individual VM backups. So depending on the size of your environment, if you had 200 plus VMs, you were able to run 200 simultaneous backup jobs to our box. So performance extremely fast here, and with the additional memory, it helps other things as well. We've got 15 terabytes of SSD on board on our 9000. So running synthetic pulls and some VM recoveries, you really do get great performance out of the platform. On the tape piece, this is a subset of our line. I'm showing our entry and mid-range. This is something we position as ransomware bundles. We take our Scalar i3, which is a 3U, and then our Scalar i6, which starts at the 6U. We bundle that with a certain amount of drive slots. But what really differentiates us are the software features that others don't do or don't necessarily do. ActiveVault is a key one. This is something specific to Quantum, where we actually take unlicensed tape slots in our library, and we create an offline vault. It's an air gap solution. And typically what you do is you have Veeam, who's fully capable of doing an export upon a job completion with tape, and it moves it into this vault. Once done, Veeam can't get it back. It takes a user to log into a separate management interface that also has multi-factor authentication in order to push those tapes back. So we are giving an on-site vault. If you're able to keep the tapes on-prem, or even backups that run overnight, they could be immediately exported into that vault. So you really don't have, a window where ransomware hackers can access your data. And then we have our own encryption platform. We call it SKM, or Scalar Key Manager, and some additional advanced reporting capabilities. This is a visual on that ActiveVault. So, you take a tape library. We essentially partition it into a usable and viewable library by the backup application. And then there's additional slots that would be used as the ActiveVault. Our libraries are scalable. The mid-range, the i6 that I showed you, in a 48U rack, we can grow that to 800 slots and up to 24 tape drives. So if you were looking for a large on-prem vault to use with ActiveVault, we can put expansion chassis. We don't have to license them with slots. It's a one-time license to add ActiveVault. And then you utilize all those unlicensed slots as that offline vault. So backups hit the active library partition where it actually sees the drives and the slots. And the export is just scheduled directly in a Veeam tape backup job. You can schedule it to vault it to the IE ports, which is how the ActiveVault partition is seen. And once it's there, they're inaccessible. And then to kick it up a notch, you couple that with our Scalar Key Management, so all backups are encrypted. And then you use Worm Media. Now you have a real immutable data vault where not only can data not be accessed, but if someone were to get their hands on a tape, that tape can't be overwritten, and the tape can't be read back without the encryption keys. And with that, one of our licenses, we call advanced reporting. If someone were to manually export a tape out of that library, a report would be generated, an email would be sent to the management, whatever email alias you want to use, to let them know who accessed the library and that tapes were exported and in which tapes they were. So it gives you great insight into what's going on in that library and in that vault. And then ActiveScale is our other component. And ActiveScale on-prem cloud, basically. This is where we see a lot of customers that just don't want to go to tape. They're looking for disk, large, scalable, and affordable disk. And that's where object storage really comes into play. Veeam has the capability to move data to an S3 target, whether that be on-prem, private cloud, or public cloud, AWS, Azure, what have you. So this would be the on-prem. We could get up to 8 petabytes in a single rack footprint. We do erasure coding and durability of 99. So it's really a platform that's made never to go down. And if drives fail, if nodes fail, it's not failed. You know, we replace or fix the components, but it never comes offline. So MSPs, you know, use our ActiveScale platform. You know, large customers who are looking to keep, you know, 7 years of backup retention on-prem, just exporting those VM copies to this platform. One of the cool features we have coming out this calendar year is going to be our object lock for object storage as well. So it's really creating a worm version of any data that's sent to our object platform. Again, the idea is that immutable copy. So even if it was accessed, because object could be online, it can't be modified, deleted, or changed in any way. So that's it. I know 20 minutes goes fast. I think I hit the 20-minute mark, but just curious if there's any questions. I know it did go fast, but anything now I could answer?
Hi, I just had a question. I'm Glenn Johnson. Have you integrated this with this Oracle databases?
Oracle databases?
Mm-hmm.
So our DXi disk backup platform is. We support RMAN backups direct. We've actually have an RMAN driver for our DXi platform. So we absolutely do. Were you specifically asking about the dedupe backup platform, or were you asking about something else that you saw?
Well, the one point that you brought up was really interesting is the reduction. I'm going back to your note. Your reduction in time. We have a client that has a 70 terabyte Oracle database that right now with their TSM backup, it takes them 7 days to restore. And they need to get it down to, you know, like 1 day or 4 hours would be adequate. So we were looking at more of a HA solution that would replicate the Oracle rack. But when you look at your solution, it kind of solves that problem.
Yep. So the DXi has that direct integration with Oracle. On top of that, so if it's TSM and Oracle, you probably running Oracle on Linux platforms, if I had to guess.
Yes. Yes.
So okay. All right. Great. So we also have something we include for free with our DXIs we call Accent. What Accent does is a combination of source side plus target side dedupe. So typically in that Oracle environment, there's going to be good processing, and we don't even need to borrow a whole lot of the CPU, but we could do that combo of source side plus target side dedupe. We're looking at only new change unique blocks to get over to the DXI. So absolutely, it's very fast. And another function that we have coming out, I know it's running already, it might be in beta, is our path optimization. So if our DXI, our 9000 or our 4800, we could have 18 10 gig ports on that. So what our path optimization is doing, it's doing load balancing between those ports and the Oracle host. So yeah, performance-wise, that is a great fit. It would shrink backups. So are they going to tape today?
No, no, they're kind of doing it internally. You know, they're an IBM Tivoli, backup right now, and it's kind of like one of those projects they hand us, here, fix this problem. So we started to evaluate. We're an MSP, so we do a lot of scope. My background has been in this area of disaster account covering, but Oracle's its own monster. You know, it's not like we focus on it as much as we do in normal virtual platforms. So it's for us, it's a kind of a one-off to build a solution for them.
Okay. All right. Well, I can send additional. I don't have it in this PowerPoint, but you know, with our
Yeah.
Oracle integration, I've got some slides, so we should connect, and I could get you some additional information.
Yeah,
you know,
that'd be great.
to this.
Yeah, my email's just glenn@persida.com. Which is,
I don't see the full.
It's just GLENN at Persida, PRISEDA.com.
All right, perfect. I'll send you a message once we're done here.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. Anything else? Anyone else? All right, perfect. Well, thank you. I really appreciate the floor time today. And any questions, you know, reach out. Let me know what I can do to help you. Thanks so much, and thank you, Ben.
No problem.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you.